So, guys, we are live. So we got Kevin Ray Wilder joining us, and then we got Duke coming on shortly. He's running in with some tech issues, so he'll be here in a bit. So the agenda for this podcast is basically we're just going to answer some of your questions, chop it up a little bit. I didn't really have anything too much planned for today, but I thought it'd be fun to get together since I haven't talked to you or Duke in a while. So I thought it'd be fun, kill two birds with one stone, that type of thing. So, yeah, man, you just moved to Vegas, right?
I did, man. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been posting too much, because I'm like collecting so much like footage and a bunch of other stuff that I want to like really highly edit and whatnot. Because one of the critiques that I've been getting, and same with Coach Whitepill, is like, oh, where are your receipts? Where are your receipts? Really, the only receipts that we've shown is like our texting and, you know, some of the stuff that we do like with our online dating profiles. So it's a legitimate question and concern. So we've been filming a lot here. We did our first boot camp ever, and it was quite successful. Most of the guys got laid, which is pretty sweet. So I can't really ask for much more for a first boot camp. So it's been cool, but yeah, it's one of the reasons why I haven't really been posting as much, I guess. But things are about to change soon. I've been starting to do like some street interviews and stuff as well. With like hot girls, so it's pretty cool. It takes a while to edit, and we have like a videographer and stuff, and we're doing a bunch of other stuff here. But yeah, I've been basically working like 16 hours a day, but I can't complain, man. It's good shit. So
what do you think about game in Vegas compared to game in other places?
So it really depends on what you're looking for. So for me personally, like, you know, in general, when it comes to tourists, you know, especially if they're coming to Vegas and they're single, like, you know, I'm not going to keep it PG here. They're looking for some dick. All right. But at the same time, I don't know about you, Alex, but I think I heard this actually in your debate with Vegan Games, which is awesome, by the way. Like it kind of starts to get old of you just like having a bunch of one night stands. It's a lot of work, and it gets kind of annoying.
It's gotten really old for me, honestly.
Yeah, it has for me too. And so that's still fun, but ideally, you know, if you're trying to find local girls, it's a bit tougher. I found more success meeting them through online dating apps, because they literally say, like, it's almost like a popular thing here to be like locals only, you know, for good reason. But yeah, from that standpoint, in terms of like getting something more consistent with girls that actually live here, it is a bit tougher because there's just not as many of them. It's such a transit city. But in terms of like, if you're just trying to have like one night stands and stuff, logistically, it's a lot easier if you're staying on the strip. I stay a little bit outside the strip because I'm staying at a house. So, yeah, it's not as easy as I think a lot of people think. Again, it depends on what you're going for. You know what I mean? Like if you're just going for one night stands with like average looking girls, it's pretty easy. But also when you're going to like these nightclubs and stuff, the really good looking girls, like they basically have guys going around like collecting all the hot girls and then putting them in VIP or like behind the stage with the DJ. So it's like, fuck, you know. So I've had a few times where like Coach Whitepill and I would be talking to like these like really smoking hot girls. Actually, the ones I'm thinking of in particular like actually work on the strip as like cocktail waitresses, but they were off that night. And things will be going really well, and then you lose them for a second. Next thing you know, some security guard or whatever is like grabbing them, and they're like turning up with the DJ. It's like, man, there's not much you can do about that, you know. But overall, it's a good time. It's cool. I can't imagine living here long term though.
Have you ran into RSD Luke yet?
No.
Well, I think
I've hung out with AG Hayden. I told you that before we went on stream.
AG school.
Yeah, we gamed together a bit, which was sweet, and we did pull together. We did pull some girls, and we do have footage of it, but I don't know if. See, I have a weird thing with infields. I don't know how much I want to share with that, especially publicly. So that might be something that I only just share with like my students and my clients. You know what I mean? So we'll see. It's his footage too, so maybe he'll use it. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And you know, you hear about these guys online, you just always kind of wonder whether they're legit or not. And you know, he's definitely legit. So
yeah,
fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very legit.
I'm going out with him around Miami. I had a rough week, dude. I fucking got I got pink eye, and I got some weird. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a urinary tract infection, all in like a span of a few days. So now,
Man, what kind of freaky shit have you been getting into, Alex? Damn.
nothing really. This is just one chick I banged last week, and I also smoked a lot of weed that night. And I woke up the next day, and my eyes were fucked up, and my dick kept hurting when I pissed. So I got tested for STDs, and I tested negative for everything. So I'm like, okay, I don't have STDs, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'll probably have some like urinary tract infection or something like that. So yeah, so I've been chilling for the last 5 days. People keep thinking I'm high on podcasts, but it was just at first I thought it was allergies, but then I'm like, nope, this gotta be pink eye.
Yeah, it's something. And yeah, and then I also had I remember I told you I had COVID, and you're trying to help me, keep telling me to like get the IV
Did
thing,
you ever do
which
that?
I never did. I never did, by the way.
Yeah. I figured you would not. Yeah.
Well, I'm too lazy, and it's like it is expensive, but also if it's worth it, I'll do it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I was kind of too afraid that I would like it too much, and I'd be like, oh shit, I need to go get an IV every time I'm hungover.
Well, it's not like a drug. It's not like you're like rolling a Molly after you do an IV. So the context for the audience. So Kevin had COVID, so I was telling him he should do a high dose vitamin C IV, which is something I would recommend to anyone who gets sick or gets COVID or whatever. I had COVID like a year and a half ago. I did it. I felt better pretty fast. My roommates have. I know a lot of people have. Basically, what you do is you do 25 grams of vitamin C intravenously, and that just really boosts your immune system and helps you knock out like any viral infection basically within the span of a day or two. So it's the context on that. But yeah, it's not like you get a high or something like that when you do it. That would be cool though. I wish there was IVs you could do that made you like feel high for like 4 hours, like a natural high. That would be epic.
Just high off of vitamin C.
Yeah, well, they do have this thing called NAD. Not to go down too much far down this rabbit hole, but they have this thing called NAD. I forget what it stands for. It's like some long thing, but basically, a lot of people get NAD IVs and they do feel high, like for the rest of the day. It's like a nonstop caffeine, basically feeling without caffeine. I don't know how else to explain it. I personally tried; it didn't really work for me, but I think my body's just all kinds of fucked up. But I think for a lot of people, it does work from everything I've heard. It's like a little side.
Yeah. So apparently. Not to change topics, but I texted you this earlier. But one of my moderators, he sent me a link of Donovan Sharp saying that he wants to like start debating people again. And a lot of people in the chat were like, "Hey, debate Alex for Playing with Fire." That's so funny. Like Donovan was like, "I don't know who that is." Like, motherfucker, yes,
they all pretend like they don't know.
Fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's so stupid. It's like that's not a flex if you're just like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like, you just look stupid. Of course you fucking know who that is.
Yeah, Roll did the same thing. This guy, I think his name is Alan from Playing with Alan or something. Oh, I've never heard of it before.
Alan from Playing with Water. It's like, dude, you look so stupid. It's like you're not doing anything there. I think their whole thing of they're trying to do like oh, no oxygen. There's supposed to be some flex of like, oh, you're beneath me. It's like, it's so stupid. But anyway, I think he's willing to do that. I don't know. I mean, he was caught on camera. He didn't want to be like exposed as a beta on camera. So, but yeah. And then he also said that apparently I'm supposed to get some email invite from his assistant that he wants to have me and Coach Whitepill debate him and his girlfriend. I think he said 2v2. So I imagine the other person says girlfriend. I could be wrong.
Really?
But it's really funny because on stream, he was like, his girlfriend was like, no. And then Donovan's like, I'm the man. I say yes. It was hilarious. But I would love to have
don't beat me. I was kidding.
Well, basically, the girl Devin like knows what's best. Yeah, the girl Devin was being smart. I was like, because look, it's like, if it's one-on-one, I guess it would be more fair. But then, Coach Whitepill and I, both of us are debating him at the same time, or both of them. I mean, Donovan's really easy to debate, man. Like there's this, when you start to speak in absolutes, it's really easy to debunk your arguments because nobody legitimate within the evolutionary psychology space, evolutionary biology, ever speaks in absolutes. Dr. David Buss, Jeffrey Miller, there's a few other guys as well. They never speak in absolutes. They're always like, oh, well, the studies or the evidence shows that this tends to be because, all these statistics are on a bell curve. So there's going to be extremes on both ends. But for the majority of people, they're going to be somewhere in the middle in terms of temperament, in terms of behavior, whatnot. So that's how they speak. But then Donovan will make absolute statements like women are incapable of leadership. When women cheat, men have sex. It's like, those arguments are easily debunkable, especially when there's actual empirical data to refute it, right? So it's gonna be a fun debate. I have all these stats and statistics I'll just throw up there, and then that just debunk a lot of his claims. It's gonna be easy. I hope he doesn't watch this because then he might get scared.
I mean, I would totally do it. I hope we do it with no ground rules either, so I can like bring anything and everything up. Like I'm sure he's going to insist on when you had your debate with him. Did he insist on like a whole bunch of things being off limits?
Not necessarily. No, he's actually pretty open-minded about it. One of the biggest things that I was afraid he might start doing is when I bring up the dictionary, because we debated about whether he's a misogynist or not, and I do not throw that word around willy-nilly. But if you actually are the definition of it, I'm be like, yeah, that's you. And this is what the reason people don't take the red pill seriously is because of dum-dums like you saying this type of stuff. But no, I mean, I was afraid that when I bring up the dictionary definition, he might be like, that's not the real definition. And he didn't really do that. So kudos to him at the very least from that standpoint. But dude, he has so much damning evidence online. Like one of the things that I brought up with him was like, you compared women to shelter dogs, and he had no problem with it. He's like, oh, I like dogs. Dogs are important. You could argue that dogs are more important than people in our society. I'm like, what kind of fucking argument is that? But anyway, no, he didn't try to pull too much sneaky stuff. Maybe because I think he had in his mind for some reason that I would like pull some like weird BS. Like, I don't know, maybe I just stand up and show my dick or something and try to ruin his channel. Like I don't know why he thought I'd like pull something. Like, I don't need to. When your arguments are sound and you're having a logical discussion, you can logically debunk somebody. You don't need to pull that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were just like, oh, well, why didn't you go harder on Donovan? When you actually watch the debate from a logic standpoint, I think I did go pretty hard. I just didn't like raise my voice and that type of stuff because rightfully so, if you start raising your voice, people will be like, oh, why is he getting so emotional? And that's a valid critique. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. I don't know. He didn't pull any weird stuff. The only weird thing they did pull, actually, if you remember this, is he scheduled the debate without telling me, right. And his assistant never emailed me. And then they're like, hey, the debate's in like 1 hour. I'm like, what the fuck? And then all that stuff leading up to it was sketchy. But the debate itself, he didn't try anything weird. No.
Yeah, I would love to debate Donovan on not even on that, just like on all his lies and nonsense. Like I would. If we can do it with no ground rules, I would just play a clip of Donovan saying that his wife is like or his girlfriend is like a 9. And then I'd be like, okay, let's pop up a picture. And I'll be like, okay, so Donovan, so this is your definition of a 9. I mean, there's like so many like little things like that I can just catch him on, but we'll see. I'm down to do it. I'm down to debate anybody. I did one with, Vegan Gains, and I did one with Alexander Grace recently. Me and Vegan Gains.
Oh, you did one with Alexander Grace? I think I missed that one. Was that on your channel?
Yeah, it was on my channel.
How long ago was that?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay, that must have been when I was like dying of COVID. So that must have been why I missed it. I did see the Vegan Gains one though. That was really good. That was really good.
The Vegan Gains was okay. We kind of went off track quite a bit when we were talking about like trans and shit. I'm not really sure why we got into all that, but yeah, I thought the Alexander Grace one was pretty good. We approached the arguments from different points. He approached it from like a evolutionary biology point. I approached it from like a practical point. But I thought it was a really good debate. We went for like 2 hours. That one was a good one. So I thought
I'd like to have a discussion with him one day. Not anytime soon, just because I have so much on my plate right now with what I'm trying to do, but eventually, because he's interesting. He was one of the few guys who actually like a lot of his early videos, he would actually like go out on the street and interview girls, which is some of the stuff that I'm doing now. I'll be releasing that footage soonish. Again, I want to make sure that these videos are really good and well edited and whatnot. So it'll take a while, but I'm in the process of doing that now. Okay. So yeah, I mean, he was one of the few people who would actually like go out there and ask the women themselves like these questions rather than just theorizing about it. And I've seen lately from his channel a bit more sort of like a lot of theorizing. I can't help but think his content's a lot more like doomery and like black pillar-y lately. So I don't know. I would just like to talk to him about that stuff. But he did debate wheat waffles and he was less black pilled than wheat waffles technically. So, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a pretty reasonable guy. He's pretty articulate and smart as well.
he's very articulate. Yeah,
Yeah.
he seems quite reasonable, but you know, I kind of understand it with like wheat waffles and the black pill guys, and all the red pill guys do this too. Is they have sort of these like doomery titles because they get a lot of clicks, and I don't know if Alexander Grace is doing more so of that rather than like actually believing kind of the stuff, kind of the ideas he's espousing. You know, I don't want to like straw man his arguments and stuff, but compared to, because I used to watch his channel like 3-4 years ago, and I think compared to his stuff back then, more recently, it seems to be a lot more kind of doomery. You know what I mean? Kind of more black pill, like black pill light almost. So,
well, yeah, people go in different directions. Like you actually, even Natty, my girlfriend, was kind of making fun of me a little bit. She's like, how long is it until your channel becomes full on black pill shit? Because like I had a streak where I made videos like I don't know, they were like, why, you know, like fucking crazy gold digger does this, or why some men hate women, and I was like just going through a phase where I was just like busting out a bunch of those videos. Funny enough, I don't know if you saw this, but I made a video about like a gold digger compilation and posted it on TikTok, and Riley Reid fucking liked that video and commented on it.
Wow, you should have her as a guest on the podcast, man.
I mean,
you've already had other porn stars, so why not?
Yeah, but she's like the biggest one. I mean, I've emailed her many times in the past. I don't think she's ever seen my emails, honestly. So maybe this will change things. I don't know. Also, hopefully, that would be awesome if I could get her on. That was another thing. Also, I was trying to create a debate between John Anthony and Wheat Waffles. I was trying to set that up. I was working really hard on making that happen, and I was gonna like host it and just be like the guy that just like the moderator, you know, just to make sure it doesn't go like too off topic. John agreed. Wheat Waffles did not. He does not trust John.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, dude, like I guarantee you it will be on my channel. I will vouch for John's good intentions. I will make sure he doesn't pull any shit. And Wheat Waffles was just like, nah, man, like I don't trust him at all.
I thought Wheat Waffles would debate anyway. That's surprising to me. If I had to choose like who, I know he's a friend, but like, I don't know. If I had to choose like who would debate, who wouldn't, I would say Wheat Waffles. That I haven't ever seen John Anthony debate anybody. And Wheat Waffles, it seems like he would debate literally anybody. So that's actually really surprising to me that Wheat Waffles is the one that like wasn't down to do it.
Yeah, he just didn't want to do it. I tried to convince him, but you know, I can't. I can only do so much. But that would have been fun. I would have loved to host that. That would get. I think that would get a lot of views because those two, like, you know, don't like each other. there's a lot of
that's an understatement, man.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have anything really against John Anthony, but like, again, you have to be. There's a few things that are like non-negotiables for me, and we were supposed to do a collab, but then when he doxed Wheat Waffles, I was like, man, I can't do it. You know, if he like delete. Because like doxing, man, I feel like as a YouTuber, especially when you're posting like controversial stuff, you have a right to privacy. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of like an unwritten code type of thing of just like, hey, if somebody doesn't want their information out there, you got to respect that, even if you disagree. And it's such a shame too, because actually J-Move basically had a slam dunk on Wheat Waffles. His argument of saying, hey, either one, I'm not as ugly as you say that I am because look at these hot girls I'm hanging out with, or two, I am, and therefore that's proof that game works, right? So his initial rebuttal to Wheat Waffles was amazing. It was probably one of my favorite videos of John's. And the doxing thing was so unnecessary. I don't know why he felt he had to do that. He already slam dunked Wheat Waffles with just that one response video. So
yeah,
it's a shame.
I generally agree with you. When that video came out, I actually did message him and I was like, yo, man, I don't know why you doxed him like that. I think that was going too far. Like I respectfully told him that, right? But I'll just give you his argument, his counter argument. I'm not saying I agree with his counter argument. I'm just saying this is what he is. So he believes in like full on like total warfare. So basically the way he sees it is Wheat Waffles is fucking people over by, you know, giving them bad information. He's causing, you know, guys to become bitter and resentful. And I don't know if that's like a fair claim. I know the black belt community, generally speaking, is doing that. I don't know if like Wheat Waffles is at the forefront of that. But anyway, you can make that argument. And that basically Wheat Waffles is just doing more harm than good. So that if we can get rid of him off YouTube, I'm going to do something good for, you know, the whole, you know, manosphere and the community in general. So thus I should go full on like bazookas blazing style and not hold back at all. That's his general argument.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that's one way to do it. It's just I just can't look. There's sort of because there's a unwritten sort of danger. Like, what's the reason that people like freak out over people getting doxxed? Like, you never know, like, what could happen with that, or somebody wants to keep their personal information private for some reason. And also, like, you doing the doxing, it makes you look bad, man. It really does. So
yeah, I agree with that. I think doxing and getting family involved are two things that like are personally off limits for me. Like I don't want to go too far, but I've had some people suggest that as retaliation, I should do some things involving some YouTubers' families, and I turned it down, even though it was tempting. But no.
No, I've had a few situations like that too, but it's just like, dude, there's some lines that you shouldn't cross. Like, there's some things that I know behind the scenes of guys who I go after that I purposefully don't talk about, because one, the second, third, fourth order consequences of that could be catastrophic to the point where like I could face legal action. Two, it's just unethical. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a certain set of principles that you follow, and one of them is, you know, your personal right to privacy, even if you are quote unquote my rival or whatever, like, I still need to play by those rules. You know what I mean? So maybe it's more so like John maybe has that sort of like total war sort of mentality of like, I'm not only going to defeat you, I'm going to crush you and send you into the nether realm. Like, I don't necessarily have that mentality. My mentality is more so like, let me just beat you with logic and facts, and let's have a debate and a discussion about it, and let's talk about it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, my mindset is more like proportionate war. So it depends how bad, how much damage that person did to me, and like what they're doing, and how bad I feel they are. That's to the extent that I will go. Doxing though and family are the two things I won't involve under like 99.9% of circumstances. Yeah, like 99.
Because one of the other things too, if I'm being like 100% honest about all of this, is like, you know, people tend to associate other people that you have on your channel. You know what I mean? So like, or that you vouch for. And for me with John, you know, down the line, if people are like, oh, well, you know, you've collabed with this guy and whatnot, but he's going around doxing people. Like, doxing is probably the only bigger sin on YouTube, is probably going and copyright striking channels. The second biggest is probably doxing. And you could make an argument that doxing is like even more intense. You know what I mean? And again, it was just so unnecessary, man. It was just tough. And to John's credit, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing this. He did sort of like, because he said so nice things to me, which is okay. But then he apologized for it and still wanted to collab. But again, it's tough from a branding standpoint. It's tough for me to associate with somebody who will just go out there and willingly dox somebody. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. So no hate, nothing against you, John, but with the doxing stuff, I can't do it. Even with you, Alex, if you started doxing people, I'd have to stop associating myself with you. You know, I'm fair with everybody from that standpoint. Coach Whitepill, he's my freaking business partner. If he starts going around doxing people, I'd have to liquidate that partnership. You know,
I'm gonna dox Myron.
That's all it comes down to.
His name is Amru. I bet you guys didn't know that. Yeah. Fair enough. Let's take some questions from the audience, and then we'll wait while Duke jumps in. Oh, sir, you're approaching. Is it good or bad if a girl keeps calling you sir as you're approaching them during the day? Oh, we lost you, Kevin.
Oh, whoops. Hold on. I don't know why it does that. I need to figure that out. It does that on my camera every once in a while. I need to find out why it does that. Anyway.
Is it good or bad?
You want to answer that?
I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I mean, you can be like, oh, my name is Alex or whatever. I mean, if your name's not Alex, don't say that. Say my name is whatever your name is. But I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't really understand. Is the question like, because he said, is it good or bad if a girl keeps calling you sir? The implication being it's the same girl as you're approaching them during the day. So like, he keeps seeing this girl regularly. I'm guessing that this is a girl that like works somewhere, right? Like is maybe like a cashier or something. And so you see her regularly and she calls you sir. Maybe that's what he's trying to say. I'm not sure. That's what it seems like to me. Because
Yeah,
at that point, like I don't know about you, but for me, I've never really tried to like game girls like while they're like working. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have, but for me, it's not. I don't know. It just feels weird.
I don't often, very rarely, if the girl's like really attractive.
Yeah, exactly. It's just hard to tell because they're obligated to be nice to you. You know what I mean? So it's like, how could you even gauge whether they're interested or not? Go ahead.
So let's see. Alex, any updates on the 1/3 of Lays from Clout Girl? I'm gonna keep asking. Want to learn the celebs get the hottest girls with no effort? Yeah. So far, no updates at all. That hasn't started happening yet. It really doesn't help that I don't have my Instagram. So once I get my Instagram back, I've been going through fucking hell dealing with the fucking animals that call themselves Instagram client support. Dude, I've been like trying to get my Instagram back for 2 months now. It's such an open and shut case because I can prove that I am who I say I am by showing them ID, my passport, my driver's license, pictures of me holding the sign. I've sent all that information in. I still like can't get a response from them. So they keep assuring me that I'm gonna get it back soon, but we'll see. So I think once I get my Instagram back, there's gonna be some.
I never got my Instagram back, man. It's still gone.
Have you just given up on that?
Yeah, I just gave up. Now, granted, like I used to post a bunch of memes on there, and some of them were quite raunchy, even though it was all for comedy's sake. So if somebody wanted to ban me based on that, I think I'm not surprised. But yeah, I still have my backup account, Kevin Ray Wilder 2. So if you ever want to contact me on there, you can just DM me on Kevin Ray Wilder 2 before the Fresh and Fit fanboys try to delete it.
People are saying that AMS is in the chat. That's interesting. Yo, AMS, if you want to come on, I'll send you the link, man. You're more than welcome to come on, chat for a little bit, keep it friendly and whatever, discuss some shit. It would be a cool convo. So let me know in the comments if you want to come on, man. We'll send you the link. All right.
Are you sure it's not like one of those fan accounts?
Oh, it could be. Yeah, but whatever.
Like when you, what was it? I think it was when you and John were doing a stream.
Someone
you invited Wheat Waffles on. It's like, oh, Wheat Waffles is here, and then he just showed his dick. Like,
yeah. AMS would be interesting for Alex to have on. John Anthony said he believes AMS having 450 lake count, which actually means something coming from him. Okay, that's just like a comment.
Do you, just out of curiosity, I actually don't know AMS too much. The only thing I know of him is kind of unfair. So that famous, I guess, famous footage of him like being like, yo, I'm gonna approach these snow bunnies. Yeah. And then he just got approach anxiety and just kept walking. Look, like sometimes even the best of us have like approach anxiety sometimes, or bad sets or whatever. And so I think it's unfair to judge him just off of that. I don't know the rest of his content too well, to be honest, but what are your thoughts on him? And actually, I'm curious what John's thoughts are on him, if he thinks that his 450 lay count's legit.
Yeah, so my thoughts on AMS is that he has some good ideas. I think he, generally speaking, gets laid just because of the way he carries himself. I think there's some things that he's pretty much wrong about. So I think that he's got some good ideas, some bad ideas. I think John says something similar. I don't fault him too much for that clip. I mean, everyone has moments where they bitch out and they get approach anxiety. I mean, that one, it was just like, I think he got a lot of shit because he didn't own it. Because if he was like, yo, yeah, I just got a little nervous, my bad. But he was just like, yo, those white girls forgot to bring the booties. Like, he made a little excuse and like, that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That part to me is not a big deal. I do see that he has some information. Again, I made videos criticizing him that aren't, the best, but he also has some good information. So I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting debate / discussion to have with him. John, I'm not too sure what John's argument is on AMS, to be honest. Why? What are your thoughts on him?
Again, I don't know him too much. You know what I mean? He does give off like fake alpha vibes to me, but also somebody who gives off fake alpha vibes to me is Andrew Tate, and he's definitely an alpha. I mean, he's a kickboxing world champion, so I can't always just go based off of people's online personas. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes, even if they give me fake alpha vibes, they actually are like a legit alpha, like Andrew Tate. I mean, it doesn't get more alpha than being a kickboxing world champion. So, so maybe AMS is the same way. Maybe even though I perceive it as kind of like fake alpha, whatever, maybe he actually is that way when the cameras aren't rolling. So who knows? More than anything, it's like, I think you should judge people based off of their advice, and you should judge people off of their character in the way that like if you're their customer or whatever, you don't want to get screwed over. So if somebody has like a bad reputation of screwing over customers or they do shady stuff, then you should probably be like, maybe should I invest in a program with this guy? Probably not, right? But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on that. I don't know him well enough to really say anything.
Yeah. Speaking of Andrew Tate, by the way, I've been trying to collab a podcast with him or his brother for like 1 fucking year now. Those guys are, I think I like them. They seem like they're legit. They seem like they know game, blah, blah, blah. But they're so fucking hard to make plans with. It is insane. I've had easier time locking down dumb 18-year-old bimbos than I have locking those guys down. Like, oh my fucking Lord. So people, like, if you guys are wondering when that podcast was happening, the ball is in their court because I've gone out of my way to make that podcast happen. And it's like they always just like disappear last minute and then they come back and then they disappear again. It's just like, oh my fucking Lord. Like sometimes like
that might be Duke and I's fault for revealing the him like smacking the shit out of his bitch, you know.
But that doesn't have anything to do with me. I wasn't involved.
Yeah, but you know, like I said before, things of like people who you sometimes associate with that could be something. You know what I mean? And again, I think when we covered that, we were fair. We were just like, hey, maybe this is like BDSM stuff. But like when we have like a bunch of different people emailing us that footage, we have to cover it. We can't just sit on it just because, you know, we think whatever. I will say, I think Andrew Tate is very good at playing the game, the power game, because he not only do like the fresh and fit, you know, Rolo pill type people like him, but then also like Anthony Johnson, John Anthony, those guys who are opposed to that side also like him as well. So Andrew Tate is good at playing the game of like kind of fence sitting. I know what you're doing, Andrew. You're a smart guy. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect you basically IQ mogging the manosphere. So
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. You were going to collab with Courtney Ryan recently again, but you did. Yes, we had to move it. Courtney had some shit that popped up, but we are doing it. It is completely confirmed. I believe February 17th, me, her, and Marnie is going to happen. It was just really, really hard scheduling with both of them because they're both so busy. But it is happening. It is on, and I don't believe it's going to get rescheduled again. Alex, you need to have more podcasts with Allende. Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Allende, we talk. He's going to come on the podcast again, I'm sure, at some point. I don't want to do like all the time back to back, but it'll happen.
Dude, you have to come out to Vegas at some point, man, while we're still here. I need to visit you in Miami too, granted.
Yeah, man. Yeah, come to Miami. Oh, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be traveling anytime soon. People always keep trying to get me to go this place and that place. If I have like a strong reason, I'll come visit. But I'm just like too comfy in my nice little Miami apartment with my fucking dog and I don't know, all my shit here and like my girlfriend.
You, man.
I don't know. I'm a creature.
Well, one thing I'm doing here is like I have like a whole portable podcast studio. So we can basically bring it anywhere because like traveling is a big thing for me, man. I love traveling, even just within the US. So I need something that was like portable. So maybe I'll check out Miami at some point. But
yeah, man.
If I was to go to Miami, like if I had to choose an American city other than Vegas, I would choose Austin, Texas before Miami because I've already lived there. I loved it there.
I've lived in both.
I'm a Texan at heart, so yeah.
I've lived in both cities. I think Miami's a little better, but I like both cities.
What makes Miami better? Just hotter girls or what?
Hotter girls, yes. Texas, I think Austin. When you say Texas, you mean Austin. Austin is, I think, a little bit on the small side. In my opinion, it's like a big town versus Miami is like a real city. I think there's more to do here. I think also the nightlife is better in Austin. I will give it that. I like the bar scene there more. The weather is definitely better in Miami. Yeah, I don't know. Just like the vibe in Miami, I think is a little better.
Well, I do love playing beach volleyball. So like, I think having the beach there would be nice. But also, I just don't. I mean, yeah, actually, you can give me a good opinion on this because like, I hear guys, well, more specifically, people associated with Fresh and Fit saying like, oh my God, gaming in Miami is so hard. But those guys have no game. So like gaming for them is going to be hard anywhere. But you do have game. So you could give me perspective. Is gaming in Miami harder than like, let's say Austin?
Miami is legitimately hard, or it has at least become hard in the last 2 years. I don't think it was this hard when I first moved down here. I wouldn't say it's like as hard as they make it out to be. Especially not for the quality of girls they're banging, but like for like if you go for like the hot chicks, then it is pretty difficult, but it's doable for sure. I mean, not being hotties, but it's hard. Yeah, they're like really flaky. That's the main issue. The chicks here are just like super duper flaky. That's like the only part that's hard. I think everything else is like the same. It's just they're more flaky here. I think that's probably the factor.
Oh, that's a huge thing in Vegas too, man. We try to throw like a house party every Sunday now, and oh my God, we had like 10 girls flake on us yesterday. It was fucking insane. I think one of the reasons is like it depends on if your city is like a tourist city. Yeah. It depends on the people, if the people you're inviting are tourists. So that's something that we've been kind of struggling with, is like if the girls are tourists and they're there for the strip, right? Unless you have like the most lit party of all time, they're there to like be on the strip. You know what I mean? It's a bit different if they're like girls who are like locals, but I could see that definitely being a thing in Miami. Yeah. I think my experience of Austin, at least, is that like not just the girls, but just people in general, just Texas in general. Even though Austin's different than the rest of Texas, like people in general are just friendlier. Like I haven't experienced any like brutal rejections in Austin like I have here actually in Vegas and other places where like girls will just be straight up mean, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Again, like if you do this enough, like you don't really care, you just brush it off. It's like whatever. But I could see Miami, the vibe being a bit more sort of stuck up, and you know, again, I haven't been there.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as difficult as Fresh and Fit makes it out to be. But it's got its challenges for sure. But you know, I don't think it's too bad, honestly. Just super flaky. All right, let's see. There's a few questions I skipped. Someone said the Tates are dropping the ball in this. Alex is hands down the best person to talk with. I guess they make enough money so they don't care. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay, what else we have? Oh, are you familiar with these guys? Ultimate Man Project?
Not like super familiar, but yeah, I remember their Facebook. I think they have a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I know they're like really big into texting, and you used to be associated with them, right?
Not exactly. My old business partner, he worked with me, and then I fired him, and then he went working with them. He started working with them. That was the extent of it. We also used to like do some collaboration, but we never worked together directly. Yeah, I do think they're legit. I've gone out with them. I think they're legit guys, but we just have too much bad blood, so I'm not going to have them on the podcast. I don't know. Maybe it'll change at some point, but I have nothing bad to say about them per se. I mean, you know, I think they know what they're doing when it comes from a game perspective. And I wouldn't begrudge, like if Kevin wanted to do a collab with them, I would say that's a good idea. You know? But I wouldn't have them on my channel at this point. Fuck that.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know too much about them. I'd have to ask Coach Whitepill what he thinks about them. Because again, for me, I dabble in the PUA type stuff, but I'm not a PUA myself. I never was. I'm more, you know, red pill philosophy, that type of shit, like actual red pill, not roller pill. And I always have to make that distinction from now on, because I don't want people to group me in with those artards. But yeah, I think I'm always down to talk to anybody, you know, even if I disagree with them or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to the PUA stuff, yeah, I don't really know. Maybe Coach Whitepill has an opinion on them, but I know they did do some. Oh, I remember there's one thing that I thought was really weird that they did. What is it? They had this like program of like specifically like how to destroy. I think they called it like boyfriend destroyer. I don't know. It just seemed weird to me.
Like, they're super big into a-mogging, which I never understood. Like, why would you find a girl who doesn't have a boyfriend? Like, I never understood the whole obsession with a-mogging and whatnot. I always thought that was like super dumb. But well,
yeah, it's kind of a huge like. I'm not say turn off, but it's kind of a turn off in the sense of like, man, like why are you actually doing this stuff? Are you actually like trying to improve your life, or is there just like some deep insecurity that happened because you were like bad with girls in high school and you've never gotten over it, and so now like you're trying to have revenge against the Chads by like fucking dudes' girlfriends? Like, dude, I don't have a problem with guys hooking up with another person's girlfriend, because like, especially if they're not married, man. Like, if anything, you can make the argument that you're doing them a favor. You know what I mean? And like that girl, if she wasn't going to fuck you, she was going to fuck somebody else. But I don't know, to like specifically be like, yeah, I'm gonna go around and fuck dudes' girlfriends. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah,
Like, it's one of those things where, like, when the mainstream
yeah,
critiques PUAs, I kind of understand because they point to shit like this.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I 100%
Yeah.
agree with that. I found it kind of odd, their obsession with Amon.
Yeah.
Someone says you should debate David from Self Develop. He's completely against hookup culture. Have you ever heard of this guy? I've not heard of this dude.
Yeah, I think his channel is great. I don't know too much. So I actually made a Manosphere tier list video, and I put him in the A tier. So I don't know how, because with him, you know, like he's very open minded, and he puts the responsibility on the individual. Like he completely denies any of that doomer stuff. And I think as YouTubers, we all kind of understand that doomer type shit of, you know, just being like, oh my God, you know, the dating culture nowadays and women nowadays, that's the shit that gets clicks, but it doesn't help guys out. If anything, it puts them in a deeper hole. So I like his content in the sense that he like never goes down that stuff. He's very, what I would call white pilled. So I gave him an A. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure he's in a monogamous relationship. I'm not too sure his stance on hookup culture and dating apps, but he seems like a fairly reasonable guy. Like, I don't think he's going to be like, oh, well, you know, if you use dating apps, you're a bad person. Like, I don't think he's like that at all. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like this channel. I rated him an A for a reason on my Manosphere tier list video. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I should. I'll check him out for sure, and I'll see if he's down for debate. What do you guys think of Red Pill Avengers? FitX, Steph is cold, Austin Dunham, MJ Get It Right.
I don't know these guys way too much. Steph is cold. I don't know, man. Look, just because I don't watch him, it just sounds like he just whines and complains about women a lot, to be honest. And apparently he just like has a girlfriend. Like, I don't have a problem with guys having a girlfriend within the red pill space or the PUA dating space or whatever, but like, you know, unless it's like an open relationship and you're still dating girls, I don't know. I kind of take a lot of what they say with a grain of salt, unless they've proven that they've like done a ton. So like Mystery, for example, Mystery, I understand his stuff's kind of outdated, but I'm pretty sure he's like married now. I would still take his advice very, very seriously because of what he's done in the past. Right. I don't know. Steph is cold. He just like kind of just chills in his like, I don't know, in his freaking living room and just makes videos, which I guess is fine because I kind of do the same thing. but yeah, I don't know. It's the problem that I have with a lot of the red pill guys is that they just do too much like doomer shit, because that's the shit that gets clicks and that's the shit that gets views. And I understand why they do it, man, because like when you're a YouTuber, you cannot help but like chase views. But man, it's like at what cost, right? If you're chasing views, but it's at the expense of like your audience basically getting blackpilled with women and becoming like whiny, you know, red pill retards. Like are you making the world a better place or a worse place? Are you really helping men, or are you just like helping them like just stay where they are and become resentful? I can't say the same with Austin Dunham, because I think with him it's more sort of like a lifestyle type thing. Like he's going around saying like, hey, look, I'm this Tyrone guy that gets all these hoes. It's like, all right, that's pretty cool, you know. FitX, I don't know as well. The dude's freaking jacked as hell, I will say that. MJ Get It Right, I don't know who that is. So
yeah, I don't know these guys too well. Me and Austin talked a little bit. He said he's going to come on the podcast at some point, but that's about the extent of my communication with all of these guys. Yeah, I think I've reached out to FitX and Steph is cold. They didn't respond. Shame on them. I'm not familiar with MJ Get It Right at all, so can't really comment. Okay, what else do we have? What about How to Beast? Yeah, I mean, he's not really a dating guy though. Like he's more just like a business person and fitness guy. For fitness and editing, I think he's pretty good. For dating, I think he's like slightly below average, if in my honest opinion, below average to something like that. He's not terrible, but I would say he's average to below average for dating.
I mean, he's got a hot girlfriend or wife or fiance. I don't know what they are. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really. Do people go to him for like dating advice and stuff or red pill stuff?
Not really, not so much. But his most popular videos are about dating. They're like
Interesting.
approach videos. So he doesn't really make
Oh,
them.
okay. So he does like infields and stuff then.
Yeah, he has some. Yeah. That's like his
Okay.
most popular videos.
Hmm.
You guys always have interesting conversations together. You should do more live streams more often. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we will.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we gotta
It's been my bad. I did my first stream on my channel in like, I don't know, almost 2 months, like about a week ago. And again, it's for a variety of reasons. One, moving to Vegas, and we have so many different projects that we have going on here. I can't fill in the details too much of what we're doing here, but you guys will know later on. Yeah, and then also I got COVID and all this other stuff. I had boot camp, so it was tough for me to do that. But now that I have the studio and stuff set up, I want to try to do podcasts ideally twice a week. And I want to start making it a regular thing. So, and obviously with that, I'll go on Alex's channel more often. We'll have Alex as a guest on our channel more often. So we'll start doing more streams more often. And in general, for YouTubers, for whatever reason, in January, we all kind of like chill a little bit. If you've seen a lot of like the bigger channels, they really haven't been posting that much in January. Like I think Abba and Preach haven't posted a single video in January.
Like yeah.
PewDiePie takes off every January now. It's a common thing. So I guess in a way, I kind of did that as well, even though I'm a much smaller YouTuber than those guys. So, but yeah, things will start being regular again.
I wonder if it's a good idea though, like if you're an upcoming YouTuber, to just post more often in January, because the algorithm is like searching for any video they can prop up. So maybe that's
might be. If it is, I fucked up. I missed that chance.
Yeah, I think I did my
maybe next year
regular amount of posting in January.
Yeah.
People come on and do more videos to hear retarded how to be put in a coaching product. Okay, what else we got? Working for your brother. Remember Carlton? Do you guys think answering? Do you guys think that answering with voice memos or traditional text is a better choice for online dating? Sometimes, yeah, I think it is a better choice to do voice memos. What do you think, Kevin?
Absolutely, it's a better choice. I mean, you don't necessarily want to overdo it, but I think especially if you're meeting girls from like online, Bumble and Tinder are really the only ones I've ever used. But especially once you get their number from there, or Instagram or whatever, I think if they hear your voice, it's a lot less likely that they flake on you, because you're just like a real person. Because a lot of times, I'm sure you've run into this, Alex, and you guys in the chat a lot of times, is like girls will be super nervous to meet up with you.
Yeah.
And especially when you take them home. I don't know. I got this question the other day. It's like, oh, are you a serial killer? Like I get that question all the time. So, but the reason is because like it's a legitimate question from a girl's standpoint. Is like I could easily overpower them and do whatever I want with them. You know what I mean? In like bad way, not in like a sexual way. Well, obviously I could do that in a sexual way too. But like I could, I would hope. I'm 6'2", whatever, unless I'm like dating giants, right? But it's a legitimate question for them to ask. So I think even before that, a lot of times the reason that girls flake, but they'll never tell you, is because they're scared or they start to like get cold feet. So I was talking about this with somebody the other day. I forgot, but you know how like you might get nervous before a date. You're afraid that maybe the girl is not gonna like me, or she's gonna think I'm an idiot. Maybe I screw up and then she doesn't want to see me again. A girl is, on the other hand, especially if you meet online, is more so like, is this dude gonna is this safe? Like, is this dude gonna like fucking kidnap me? Right. So even just doing little things like with a voice message, first of all, make sure you don't sound like a monotone serial killer. Make sure that you have good voice inflection and vocal tonality. You sound friendly. I think that really helps a lot. And something that happened to me the other day too is something came up and I had to cancel a date with a girl at the last minute. And so I apologized for canceling on her through voice message rather than text. And I think from that standpoint, she was more forgiving because of that. I think if I just sent it through text and we hadn't met in person yet because it was from Bumble, I think it would have been way worse. So there's definitely a lot of utility to that. I just think in general, because it's a way to stand out and it's a lot more personable. And honestly, like what asshole like leaves somebody on red who just sent them a voice message? You know what I mean? Like the response rate for a voice message is like, I don't know, 80-90% probably, if I had to say. So that's just my experience. But
yeah, no, there's a lot of power in voice memos for sure. Someone said thoughts on Caleb Jones. I like Caleb. He was on the podcast. I think he's pretty legit. I'm a fan of him. Yeah, I would say. You like?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Black Dragon. That's the other name he goes by.
Is he like a red pill guy or?
Sorta, but yeah, kinda a little bit.
Okay. Maybe I'll check him out then. That's cool.
Someone's saying, is Kevin okay sharing his lay count?
I mean, I don't have the exact number, but it's over 100. It's not a ton. But then again, I'm not a pickup artist, right? Like I actually went through 3 different stints of 9 months of monk mode, and I'm 28. So my lay count's not going to be super high. Never claimed to be the lay count guy either. You know, maybe John Anthony's going to make a video now of like Kevin Ray Wilder exposed, barely having over 100 lays, but I'm not the lay count guy. So
I mean, I think 100 is pretty good if you're, especially at 28. 28 is still like.
Well, dude, it's tough because it's also like you start to lose count. So this sounds kind of creepy, but I'll share it. I don't care. So I have in my notes in my phone like the girls that like I hooked up with, and then sometimes I'll look at the names and I'll have like memories of them. But sometimes there's girls that I don't remember, and the other times there's girls that I find out after the fact I hooked up with if I was like super drunk, especially when I was younger. So like it's freaking hard to tell, man. But I know it's around that number. But again, there's a few different things of what you want from different coaches and what advice that you want. Right. So for me, I never claimed to be like some master sport fucker. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't market myself as like the guy that's going to, get you to fucking bang 100 bitches. My entire thing is like how to be a man, how to be the type of man who has the option to do that. And if that's the thing that you want to do, then cool. But
I feel so deceived. I thought you were the master sport fucker.
No, I don't know if he actually is, but I know that John Anthony's his claim is that he's the master sport fucker, and if that's the title that he wants, then fine. I don't care. Like, if he's the sport fucking guy, that's fine. I'm not the sport fucking guy.
He definitely has more sexual drive than pretty much any human being I know.
Yeah, dude, that's another thing too, is like the effort put in. Because I don't know about you, man, but if I'm dating, the whole idea of like the Rolo rational male spinning plates or whatever, it sounds awesome, but then you actually do it and it's hard to do. And also you start to feel kind of bad. Like the most girls I've ever dated at once, like regularly seeing, was like about 5. And for number 4 and 5, I felt like a shitty person when I met up with them. You know what I mean? Because they kind of know in the back of their mind that they're like, you're seeing other girls and you're just horny and that's all you want to do. Like I started to kind of feel like a bad person, to be honest. So, and also just maintaining that, it's just like, damn, man. Like, I don't know.
I personally, I just get tired.
It wasn't fun. Like, oh, go ahead.
I just personally get tired easily. For me, like,
yeah,
sex is good in moderation.
Yeah.
Someone says, guys, do you think Fresh and F and F reach their peak from now and they're going downhill?
Yes.
I think there's a good chance. Yeah. I think just because the content is so boring now, it's like the same thing over and over and over again. The common complaint is if you've seen one video, you've seen them all, because it's like the same thing over and over. So they've gotten some big mainstream collabs, which I think is boosting them up, but that will only get them so far. Yeah, I think they're going to have a hard time getting to 1 million. I think that, their stuff is just not that exciting anymore. That's my
thought. Andrew Schultz had Andrew Schultz and DJ Academics. They had, I think it was on DJ Academics podcast. They were talking about it, and I think it was Ack who said it. He brought up a really good point. Basically, Fresh and Fit has no chance going mainstream, but they do have a chance of just being the king of their niche, which is, what I. Oh shit! Did that again, man. I really need to figure this stuff out. Sorry about that. Okay. So basically, they can be kings of their niche, which is what I consider the black pill manosphere, right? The beta justice warriors, as I like to say.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks for the shout out with vegan gains, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that. I was like, oh shit, he's talking about me. Cool. Yeah. I mean, basically, their niche is the beta justice warrior niche. So that niche is always going to be there. There's always going to be way more betas and alphas. So there's always going to be a market for that. So I think they could maintain their audience based on that, but they're never going to be mainstream. Most people are always going to consider them clowns. Like, I just walked up to like these two hot girls the other day in Vegas to do some street interviews, and they knew who Fresh and Fit was. I didn't even bring them up. They were just like, "Oh, what's that podcast?" They called them like Hit and Run or something at first. Like, what? It's like, no, it's Fresh and Fit. So even just random girls, random people like know who they are, but they don't watch them obviously, and they just think that they're clowns. You know what I mean? So I think they will be well known within the mainstream. It's just that a lot of people, that won't necessarily translate over to views and money, but they still could definitely get a lot of views and money from their simps, especially money, because it's like if you have, let's say 1,000, like let's say 2,000 like diehard fans, which Fresh and Fit has at least that, that just keep sending them super chats forever. Yeah, they'll be very financially well off. So, but they'll never become mainstream at this point.
I think they'll definitely be financially well off. I think Myron's plan, from what I've heard, is to save as much money as possible and go back to like the Middle East and marry like a nice village girl or something like that. I don't know. I heard someone say that. I don't know how true it is, but it seems like something he would do. I don't know what the fuck Fresh is trying to do. Maybe I think Fresh just literally cares about like money, sex, and validation. That's like his three main motivators.
Yeah. Fresh was never, to Myron's credit, Myron was at the very least into like the red pill stuff. Yeah. And I think from a Rolo pill standpoint, he does understand it. Again, the problem is Rolo doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But at the very least, he was part of that manosphere space. I don't think Fresh was part of that manosphere space at all. It's just that Myron wanted to collab with him. I don't know, for his money, resources, connections. I have no idea. But like, I don't think Walter gives two Fs about the manosphere. He just cares about like just being the cool kid. So
yeah, basically.
At the very least, Myron stands for something, even though I think I vehemently disagree with what he stands for. Obviously, you guys know I'm Fresh and Fit's #1 hater, but at the very least, I can respect that he has beliefs. I don't think Fresh has beliefs, probably because he doesn't have the intellectual capability to actually have a deep understanding about anything. So,
yeah. Someone said
anyway, Alex, roasting session over. All right, go ahead.
Someone said Alex and Kevin should debate Myron and Fresh. Yeah, I would totally be down for that. They're never going to do it. It's not the.
Dude, I'll fly out to Miami for that. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll never agree to it. I would. Yeah,
of course.
Sure. I'm down. I'm officially live on air saying I would happily do it. Okay. You should have Andy from Kill Your Inner Loser again. He's cool. Yeah, I like Andy a lot, and I chat with him offline. Yeah, I'm sure I will have him on again at some point. Yeah, he's good. He's legit. He knows what he's doing. He's actually been helping me with something unrelated. So, yeah, I think he's a good guy, and I think he knows what he's doing. Okay. Okay, someone said, recently, Fresh and Fit have been discrediting guys who are married, not understanding the dating field, dismissing married man's opinions. Do you see any merit in that claim? It's a fair question.
I mean, if that's the case, then why do they listen to Rolo?
That is true.
Yeah, it depends on how long you've been married, because like the dating space has just been way different once dating apps and social media came out. And also post-COVID, things have been way different as well. I'll be honest, it was kind of a culture shock for me coming back from Asia back to the US. I don't remember there being so many rotund women on dating apps. like there's so many girls who are just like overweight, a lot of single moms too. So I understand it's a lot tougher on dating apps now. And, you know, a lot of guys, like for me, fortunately, I have a very good profile, so I have no problem getting matches and dates. But I do see that my friends whose profiles aren't as good, like unless you have everything, like every single thing down on dating apps, it's a lot harder than it used to be, even compared to like, let's say 2018. And yeah, Tinder especially, they just want you to pay for everything. Bumble, I still find a lot of success on. But yeah, if you've been married for even like 5 years, the dating space has changed so much, even just within the last 5 years. I would take your advice with a grain of salt, because things are a lot different now than they were even 5 years ago.
Yeah. We're all set. All right. Someone said, You should debate more black pillars. Yeah, I feel like I beat that horse to death. I mean, if there's one on the horizon that really wants to debate me, I'll do it. I never turn down a good debate, but I feel like I've done that several times.
Hey, so somebody's saying, "Oh, Kevin never shows his Tinder matches or whatever." It's like, dude, this guy. So QB Willie, I told him he's afraid he's gonna get white pilled in person. I've invited him out to Vegas to come see it done in person because he thinks game doesn't exist. So
I don't know what QB is talking about. I have so many videos where I show my Tinder matches, and he even messaged me on Instagram or something, and he was like, "Yo, man," or I think it was in the YouTube comments. He was like, "Yo, man, you never show your Tinder matches." I'm like, "Dude, I have a whole bunch of videos." He's like, "Oh shit, sorry, didn't know. Can you link me?" And I just never linked him because I don't want to go through my videos and find that, but they're in there. Like, if you think that I don't have videos, I'm telling you they do. Like, just put in 2 seconds worth of work, go through my videos. It's going to be like it's going to be like some of my live text game breakdowns, and there's a whole bunch where I show my Tinder matches. So yeah, that's a complete nonsense claim, honestly.
Yeah, and I have them too. Go to my video top 5 lies of the manosphere in minute 15. I always say this all the time. I bury my receipts within videos because I don't want girls I'm currently dating to find them.
Yeah. Do you think Do you think that the issue with Fresh and Fizz and normal guys annoyed while woman doesn't resent woman? Andrew Schultz represent a typical guy in the flagrant too. Do you think the issue with Fresh and Fizz that the normal guys annoyed by woman doesn't resent? I don't understand. Do you understand this question?
Do you think the issue with FNF is that the normal guys annoyed by women doesn't? What?
I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, I don't know. That's if you could sort of retype them.
QB's going crazy in the comments. I love the way this is so funny, dude.
Like, what does he want us to show? Like, right how many matches that we got?
3 question marks. Show them now. Dude, how about you go suck?
Okay, I'll show you one right now, motherfucker. Ready? Do you guys know who Ava Sinclair is? She's a porn star, and I matched with her on Tinder, you dummy. Ready? Here's one right here. And it's verified, so it's fucking her. Ready? Hold on. My screen's cracked. Apologies. I'm partying too hard. That's her. Hot. Look her up. Look her up on Pornhub. Ava Sinclair.
Ooh.
That's freaking her. All right? Now shut the fuck up, QB Willie. That's just one. Well, that's the only porn star, granted, but still.
Are you chatting with her?
So, what's weird, I did, and then, yeah, we never ended up meeting up, granted, but then now, like, it's like a clear chat. I don't know how that happens.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah, it's like the system.
Is that normal on Tinder?
Yeah, it just bugs sometimes. I've had that happen several times. It's annoying. Yeah, when that happens. Did you watch Brittany Renner make Myron look like a clown? Yes, I thought that was really funny. Did you see that, Kevin?
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, the reason that I didn't cover it because people were just like, "Oh, why aren't you covering Fresh and Fit and stuff anymore?" It's like, man, dude, at this point, I feel like my work is done because the mainstream is just, and it's at my expense because I get tons of views when it comes to the Fresh and Fit stuff. But like before, it felt like I was the only person talking about it. That's why it was so frustrating. But now everybody knows that they're clowns, and my beef more so is with Rollo Tomasi. I'm very clear with that because I feel like with him, he's the reason that Fresh and Fit is the way that they are. So a lot of they're basically Rollo Tomasi is kind of the brains behind that show. So if you have a lot of problems with Fresh and Fit, you should have problems more so with Rollo Tomasi than anything.
Yeah. Okay. QB is begging, or I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. He's really asking.
Dude, this guy is so stupid. He showed a profile, not a match. Do you want to see that I match with her? You dumb. I love how this guy. I already destroyed QB Willie in so many freaking debates. But like, okay, so look, it says matches. You dummy. Guys, put in chat. Hold on, I'll show you. Put in chat what you think QB Willie's IQ is. Ready? That's a match right there. You dummy.
I was gonna just tell him to go fuck himself, but since you're doing
I love destroying black pillars. I love destroying black pillars.
I'll show mine as well. Like I've done this a bazillion times.
Fucking retard.
So this is. Hang on. Let's hold this open. Okay. Fuck. You can't see shit. Yeah, this is why it's like retarded to do it like this. So you can't see shit though because of the.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna show it. Like, yeah, it just
That's all right, man. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah. But
you don't need to feel obligated to do that.
But I have so many videos on this. Like, I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. Dude,
it's so stupid.
Stop being lazy. Just scroll.
Dude, QB Willie, I can literally send you a sex tape of me having sex with a girl, and then you would say that it's fake. You would.
I mean, my sex tapes are already on there.
After you jerked off to it, of course, which I know you and I know that you definitely will. So you jerk off to me hitting some fucking baddie from behind, and then after that, you'll say it's fake. Unless I like show my face on and say, "Hey, QB, what's up? This is my receipt. Here you go, buddy."
Oh my god, I'm dead.
even then, he'll probably still have a problem with it.
What are you doing?
You photoshopped your face on some Chad's body. It's not real, man. Where are your receipts? Shut the fuck up. I still have, dude. Come out to Vegas, man. Come out to Vegas. I will show you how it's done in person. I will white pill you in person, and I will. Yeah, you bet your ass I will post it online. Come on, quit being a bitch. Come to Vegas. He won't do it though. Come on.
Yeah,
he's so afraid that he's going to get white pilled in person, and his whole ideology is going to come crumbling down right in front of him.
I will say this, QB, just stop being lazy. Go through my videos. There's a whole bunch where I show like my fucking all my matches, my everything. Like, I don't know how much more shit I could possibly show. We literally have a website called playingfire.com. Go into love reports and you can see all the screenshots from start to finish. So it's all there. You're just being lazy and you don't want to look for it. So sorry, I can't help you there. All right. Anyway, moving on past QB. 1-1-2. I think it'd be worth losing a girl. What to do? Oh my god, this guy's just like spamming the chat, dude. Just stop spamming. Like, leave it to like one comment every 2 minutes, or we're gonna have to put you in like timeout or something.
QB, you don't want to debate me, man. I already destroyed you in a debate before, and I have it on my channel if you guys want to watch.
Are deleted chats and no matches left in your area when you live in a big city evidence of a shadow ban on Tinder? Possibly. It just really depends on where you live. If you live in a city that has like no fucking people, it could be that there's no one in your area. So I think it just depends on where you live. But if you live in a major city, I do think that it is pretty good evidence. But I think another thing you got to look at is, are you getting matches on other dating apps? Like, if you're getting like 10 matches on Bumble, 8 matches on Hinge, and 0 matches on Tinder, then you're probably shadow banned. But if you're getting like no matches on any app, then chances are you're not. What the Alex, why you lied? Said both them girls were 10s after I super chat you. What girls are you talking about? Right now is
who knows, man. Dude,
what are you talking about? The podcast?
Both you and I, we're pretty smart guys. We're not super geniuses, but both of us have an IQ that's at least double of QB Willie's. Okay, so like half the shit he says, I don't even know what he's saying.
Oh,
did you ride the special bus in high school? QB, be honest.
I don't know if he's talking about the podcast I did last night. I was doing a podcast last night, and there was a fat chick there. Okay, fine. I didn't bring her. It was she was a friend of the attractive girl that was brought. I felt bad kicking her out last minute, and then that would have involved kicking the other girl out. And anyway, someone in the super chatted, what would you honestly rate these girls? And I just didn't want to be mean. Like, so I said, I'm going to respectfully not answer this question. Because the honest answer was, I just didn't want to say it in front of her, was the chick that was sitting next to me was like a 2, right? But I didn't want to say that in front of her because I didn't want to be a dick. So I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but that's just like, that's not me dodging something. That's just me not being a massive piece of shit to someone who's sitting in my house. Like, this is where I live. Like, these girls are coming in my house. Like, I just don't want to be a massive piece of shit to them and be like, you're a fucking 2, right? So I'm just not going to say that. So I just dodged the question. That's not me dodging something.
These guys don't realize that, like, people, like, dude, when we're on the internet, sure, like, we have our own personal lives too. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just like these fucking. Oh, you said she was a 10?
Okay, QB, I will make you a deal right now. If you can pull up a clip of me saying that I said that she was a 10, I will officially give you $10,000. I'm announcing that live on air. So if you can pull up a clip of me saying that chick was a 10, I will give you $10,000, or I'll have you on my channel, or whatever the fuck will make you feel like you've been successful in life. Never happened. Never said she was.
Guys, do you want to see a really funny video of QB destroying himself in a debate?
The thing is
Go
that
to.
I
I'm
actually
sorry. Go ahead.
somewhat
Go
know
ahead.
this guy, and I don't think he's actually a troll per se. He's just like a really odd guy, honestly. Like you've debated him. Like, would you say he's a troll or he's just an odd human being?
He's just retarded. I mean,
Yeah.
that's okay. Like retarded people matter too, and you matter, QB, but you are retarded, which is okay. It's fine. But yeah, anyway. So on my channel, it's called Game Beats Looks Heated Debate. So look that up after the stream, not during the stream, and then maybe just look it up and put it on a side tab and then watch it later. But it's hilarious. Where basically QB just destroys himself. It's the funniest video, one of the funniest debates I've ever had.
Yeah. If there's a massive amounts of interest, I will have him on and debate him at one point. You didn't prove shit, dude. Calm the fuck down. I will, if there's a massive amount of interest, I will have him on for a debate. I just don't really see the point because I think he's kind of like, whatever. Usually I say no offense, but I just think he's kind of dumb. Not like anything against him, but I just don't see how like that debate will be productive. But hey, if the guys want to see it, I'll do it. I don't care. Whatever.
I mean, it'll be entertaining in the sense of like
it's not going to be tonight.
You know, let's say we put like two people in a boxing ring, and like one is I don't know, one person is fucking Tyson Fury, and the other person's like Lil Pump. You know, like that'll be really entertaining from that standpoint. But would it be really like a good fight, productive? No, it's just like it's punching down. You know what I mean? Like it would be equivalent. Well, no, you debating him would be equivalent to me, like, one of us debating a kid with Down syndrome and then prancing around being like, oh, look how smart we are. It's like, you haven't really proved anything at that point. So like, what's even worth it? And also we already have footage of this happening. This isn't just speculation. The video that I just talked about, you literally lose brain cells from that debate, but it is really funny. So I'll give him that. But I've been trying to stray away a bit more from like, just, trying to make fun of the dumb person type content, which is there's a lot of in the manosphere, granted.
Yeah, I'm moving.
It's not really productive.
I'm moving.
It's funny though. It's entertaining.
I'm moving. Yeah, I'm gonna moving forward. I'm not gonna acknowledge QB for the rest of this chat because I feel like I'm going down this rabbit hole. Sorry, I was typing fast. I was saying Andrew Schultz represents the normal guy in his debate with FRFNF. He's annoyed by women. He doesn't resent women. Okay, I was saying Andrew Schultz represents the normal guy in his debate with him. He's annoyed by women, but he doesn't resent women. Yeah, I would agree with that probably.
The normal guy in his debate with FNF.
Like he was saying that
Andrew,
yeah.
Dude, and look, that's the thing too, is like, look, one of the reasons that I'm trying to like redeem the red pill and not just say, oh, the red pill is stupid, is because they have some good points. Women nowadays are extremely entitled when it comes to their dating lives. You can have some girl who's like overweight with a bunch of kids, but because one Chad one time was super horny, and then he was like, okay, I'll fuck you. Now that girl thinks that she's like entitled to dating Chads. And then when she starts to date normal looking guys, she's like, she just treats them terribly. Like there's actually something to that. And what's really perpetuated that made that worse is the popularization of dating apps, which is a very visual platform. And so, yeah, it's really widened the gap between Chads who get, a lot of girls, and then the rest of the guys who really don't get that much. And that leads to a doomer mindset, doomer culture. It's pretty bad stuff. But again, the response to that isn't necessarily to, just start like complaining and bitching about women without actually doing anything. You know what I mean? Like you can acknowledge that there's some societal problems that are happening now in guys' dating lives without being like, therefore women fucking suck. Like you don't have to go that far, right? Yep. There's still ways to like make sure that you can play the game, because the fact that so many guys are checking out of the dating market should be a big opportunity for the rest of us to be strategic and actually figure it out, So
yeah, let's take one last question. What's the landscape of dating in 2 to 5 years? Do you see many changes in the marketplace now? Something totally new or very similar? That's a good question. What do I see dating? I think it's going to be like kind of like, how they say the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. I think it's going to be like that with dating. I think the guys at the top, whatever, 0.1% are going to get more pussy than ever. And the bottom 50% of guys are going to get less pussy than ever. I think it's going to be something like that. I think it's going to be more and more. It's going to be heading in that direction.
I think another thing too, of all people, this is the last time I'm going to acknowledge him, to QB's credit, there is something to guys moving, I guess, like passport travel maxing. More specifically to South America.
Yes, of course.
In Asia, because in South America it tends to be, at least, I'm sorry if any of you guys are from Colombia, those types of things. This is my perception. I've never been there. It tends to be a bit more of an open culture when it comes to like hooking up, promiscuity, and
It
stuff.
is,
I could be totally wrong.
No, you're
It
right.
is, okay. As opposed to places like in Asia, Southeast Asia, unless it's like Thailand or the Philippines, they're much more conservative. I think that's a good place that you can go to have a higher SMV for like a wife, for example, if you're trying to find like a long-term partner. I think that's going to be more common, especially now that more and more jobs are going to be remote. And you know, what kind of sucks at the end of the day, and this is why I don't get, you know, resentful and bitter about women, is I think that's going to come at the expense of American women. American women are just going to be like, there's going to be a lot of single women with not that many prospects at all, because a lot of guys will just, I've already checked out of the dating market, but I think with things becoming more globalized, maybe not in 2 to 5 years, but maybe within like a decade or so, it's going to be very common for Westerners to just move out of the US, not only just for dating reasons, but also because the lifestyle is cheaper, that sort of thing. So I think that'll become more common.
I'll quickly answer this. Alex, if you had to move to a country outside the U.S., mainly prioritizing getting girls with online, where would you go? Colombia or Brazil? 100%. If I was into like tall white girls, then I would move to Poland or like Poland or something like that. But since I'm into big booty Latinas, I would move to Colombia or Brazil, and I would never even have to leave my apartment in order to get laid like 3 times a day. So it's that level of easy there if you know what you're doing.
Wow, that's amazing. I heard the Philippines too. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. I've never been there, but that's what I heard.
I'm just like not too into Asian girls, but I guess Filipino chicks are like a combination of Asian and Latin, so I guess it's a pretty good combo.
They're like spicy Asians. They're different than spicy the rest of Asians.
Yeah.
That's not my word. Preach from Alba and Preach said that. I thought it was hilarious.
But you can't do drugs in the Philippines because they'll all fucking execute you.
Oh yeah. You smoke weed and they'll execute you.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. I like smoking weed and shit.
Fair enough.
I like a place that has like a liberal attitude when it comes to drugs. Yeah. But anyway, I thought this was an interesting podcast. Thanks for coming on, Kevin. I guess Duke is
man.
But
man, Duke dropped the ball. What the heck happened? I'm gonna have to text him. Like, yo, where'd you go, bro?
But yeah, guys, check out Kevin's channel. He's got a lot of good content on there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, check out.
I have a lot of really fun. I don't say fun, but yeah, I gotta say fun. Yeah, I mean a lot of so this is a popular thing on TikTok of like guys like interviewing girls on the street. Except usually the guys interviewing the girls, like whether it be on 6th Street or whatever in Austin, they tend to not have much game, or they're just kind of weird, or they don't really know much about the red pill. Some of them do. But with me, I'm actually genuinely asking them like red pill questions. Like, so for example, one of the things that I did the other day, and I'm going to do again tomorrow, is asking girls what they think of Wheat Waffles ratings. So Wheat Waffles rating dudes, and dude, it's kind of shocking like what the results of that are. I can't get way too much into it but like, you know, let's just say you might look at Wheat Waffles ratings a bit differently. I'll just put it that way. But I'm going to be releasing a video on that pretty soon.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, man. I just have to collect a lot more interviews and stuff while I'm doing that as well. Because like, dude, look, maybe I'm a looks maxing guy, so you should take a guy's opinion somewhat if they know what they're talking about. But like, if it's in contradiction to what the girls are saying, and what the girls are saying is like very consistent and they're not lying, like, and they're being truthful, you know, like you should probably listen to what the girls say rather than what the guys say in terms 100%. Of what's actually attractive, you know. I don't know why that's a controversial opinion at all, but hey. So yeah, I'm going to be coming out with videos like that quite soon, so be looking forward to that.
Cool, man. Good stuff. I look forward to that video. All right, guys, subscribe to Kevin's channel, subscribe to my channel. We're going to do another one of these pretty soon, and me and Kevin will do more collabs for sure. All right, guys, cheerio.